Coming from Engadget, PC shipments just fell for the first time in 2 years thanks to the memory shortage. Revenue is still rising for these companies, so at least someone's making out well here. So this is kind of an interesting story for anybody out there that needs to buy computers or build computers. You are about to get hit, or I guess you are already being hit with a double whammy. So the first thing is that the whole AI fraud is simply eating all the computer hardware. All of the hardware that could be used to build PCs and normal servers and normal consumer items is basically being consumed by the artificial intelligence blitz scaling that is currently going on. So that's the first problem. Actually getting your hands on hardware is becoming ever more difficult. The other problem is that since the major vendors for computers, the Dells of the world, HPs of the world, all of that, they know that there is an expectation that the cost for these kind of computer devices is going to rise. They've decided to put their little thumbs on the scale and increase the prices just a little bit higher, right? If they know the customers are already expecting to spend more money to buy a computer, well, why not just increase the price above whatever their input costs have gone up so that they can get even more profit? And so what we're going to start running into is fewer and fewer options for buying computers and devices and ever increasing prices, which is a hell of a double whammy. We have been used to the price of computers coming down consistently for something like 2 decades at this point in time. You wait a couple of years, you can probably buy something for less money and get more resources out of it. That's what we've been used to. And now all of that is being flipped on its head because of everything going on with artificial intelligence. Take a look at this. Worldwide PC shipments have fallen by nearly 5% to 68.2 million units. This is the first decline in 2 years after 9 straight quarters of growth. This all started in the tail end of 2025, as you can see from the chart below. That's right around when global memory crunch went from an annoyance to a full-blown crisis. So this is showing PC shipments by quarter since quarter one of 2024. So quarter one of 2024, you can see there was about 60 million that were being shipped. Q4 of 2025, we can see that got up to 80 million. And then basically we can see the drop here of now it's down again like 68 million here. So it's dropped by a decent amount. What we can see here on the line is basically how much it's dropping down by. So it's dropped by about 6% since Q4 of 2025. IDC has also reported that revenues are still rising for PC manufacturers because, quote, vendors are pushing price increases through faster than demand is dropping. So that's one of the big things that's going on right now. Again, supply and demand. And so the demand is still there. People still need to buy computers. One of the big problems you have, especially in the corporate world, right, when you deal with organizations, is you have things like refresh cycles, right? You simply plan for when your systems are going to get refreshed. Is it every 3 years? Is it every 4 years? Every 5 years? However long it is. And there's this whole process you have to go through with the executives, because remember, there's only one pot of money. The money that allows you to buy new laptops is also the money that allows the company to buy toilet paper. Right? Well, I always warn you about when you start getting single-ply toilet paper in the restrooms. That's why you should be worried. So anyways, there has to be a lot of arguments on basically being able to purchase things. What gets funded? What gets funded and when does it get funded? That's one of the things you'll see a lot of times is right around the either the end or the beginning of fiscal years. Those are some of the best times to sell to companies. So at the end of a fiscal year, many times different departments and companies simply have excess money, right? They were allocated money that they were supposed to spend. They didn't spend it for whatever reason. So they have this pot of money. And the concept is if they don't spend it, then they're not going to get the same amount for next year. So they're just going to buy whatever the hell you have to sell. It's easy. It's not a hard sell. It's not a soft sell. It is, I will take your money and give you something in return. And they're like, thank you. God bless you, young man. Here's my cash, right? You have that at the end of the year, happens a lot of times. Or on the other hand, departments run out of money. That's how it's supposed to work. And so they will not have fresh funding until the beginning of the next fiscal year. And that's a lot of times when a lot of sales go through, basically where the company was waiting or the department was waiting. They just have to get their new fresh funds. That's one of the things I've talked about before with when you're doing business, can be a real pain in the butt, right? Business takes time. Even if people like your product, they love your product, they love you, they love the price point, they love everything about what you're selling. Sometimes it just still takes 6 months to close a deal, right? Because there's just timing involved. And so one of the things that's going on right now, I think, is that there's a lot of refresh cycles. There's a lot of purchasing that has already been baked in. Nobody was really expecting this abject disaster in the hardware marketplace for computing devices. So you still have a lot of corporations, a lot of organizations that are more or less running on autopilot. And so I think that's why there's still a tremendous amount of demand. So lower supply, lower that what can actually be delivered, while you still have high demand. That means basically Dell, these companies are able to jack up the price. And here's the thing: like if you have a server room that has to get built out, and you get told the price is going to go up by 20 or 30% on the hardware, like what the fuck are you going to do? Not build your server room? It's not an option. Right? If you're trying to scale up your business and you just hired 20 new salespeople and the price of laptops goes up by 40%, what? Are you not gonna buy laptops? Like that doesn't work, right? You're still gonna throw the money on the table. And so that's what we're getting into right now. And so this is why for the lower end customers, the real consumers, this whole technology hardware crunch is only going to get worse because there is less supply out. There's fundamentally less supply out on the open market than there was before. And we've talked about this with the memory manufacturers, that 70% of DRAM for some of these memory manufacturers is already allocated before it's even created. Only 30% of the DRAM coming off of the lines is even going to the open market. Right, that's a hell of a thing. And so then the problem is, again, if you're the lower value customer, is the little bit that does come out, that is then going to go to the highest bidder, which that is where we get to the problem of Xboxes going up to like $1,000 a piece. You run into some problems there. Oh, let's see here. Quote, the real story here is the disconnect between units and dollars. Shipments are falling, but revenue is climbing. A researcher at IDC says, quote, the vendors are bracing for further price hikes into 2027. So yeah, the prices for all of this stuff is going to keep going up. We've talked about this before with the memory manufacturers. It's something like there's twice the demand for the amount of memory currently being created now, and the demand is only going to go up. It's going to go up to like 2.5, 3 times demand for the supply that actually exists. Ubrani also expects an even steeper decline later in the year as current inventories start to run out and consumers are hit with more price increases. He warns that this could put a serious hamper on the typical PC upgrade cycle. So they come down here and they kind of show growth for Lenovo is down by 2%, growth for HP is down by 9%, Dell is down by 5%, Asus is up by 0.2%. Others are down by 10.5%. Apple did go up, but they went up by 10.1%. But the concept there is they went up because of those low-cost computers, the Neos, yeah, the Neos that have come up. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on with prices going into the future. Like you look at some companies like Lenovo. So Lenovo apparently did plan for this complete disaster. Lenovo was talking about where they had actually purchased enough RAM for all of 2026. So that's one thing you have to think about right now is that there is a cushion for some of these companies, right? Some of these companies saw the disaster that was coming down the pike, and they were big enough to be able to pre-purchase just a tremendous amount of hardware. The issue is you can only pre-purchase so much, right? Right? When you hear that Lenovo pre-purchased a year's worth of some hardware, you have to realize that is a metric crap ton of money that they had to put on the table. Like there's only so much of that. So like with Lenovo, They're only down by 2%, but they're probably able to ride through a lot of this relatively well because they already bought a lot of hardware while the cost was low. They're going to burn through those reserves at some point. I don't know if it's going to be the end of 2026. I don't know if it's going to be the middle of 2027, but at some point, they just simply are going to run out of cushion. And when they run out of cushion, it looks like this market is still going to be a disaster for quite a while into the future. Now, when I say that, you may wonder why I say that, because I keep talking about like the AI bubble. It's like, well, what if the AI bubble pops? The problem that I think we're dealing with is that the AI bubble from a capitalist standpoint is going to pop, right? Anthropic, OpenAI, SpaceX, I think they are screwed as corporations. The concept of the technology, though, one of the things you have to realize is that politicians around the world have bought into the idiocy of artificial intelligence. So even if these major companies pop, right, you still have France building data centers. You still have Canada is building data centers. You still have so many countries right now in the Middle East and other places that have decided that AI sovereignty is vital, to protect their freedom or whatever else going into the future. So even if from a capitalist standpoint, the companies with these massive valuations go boom, that doesn't necessarily mean the demand is going to go down enough to relieve these problems on the open market. Also, when you look at it, even if it does go boom, right, we were talking about the whole demand for the amount being produced. If we have 2x demand for supply right now, even if the demand drops a lot, even if the demand drops by a quarter, you still have 1.5x demand for the amount of product that's actually available, right? If we go up to 2.5 times demand for the amount of product that's available, even if that comes down to 2, even if that comes down to 1.5, even if that comes down to 1.25, that still means there is literally far more demand than product actually coming off the lines, which, you know, is as it is, as they say, is as it is. So what do you think about this? What do you think about PC shipments actually declining because of the lack of hardware out there, because of the AI fraud going on? What do you think about this with the corporations, the vendors that are able to still sell their computers? They are jacking up the price. So not only are you paying the additional price for the memory, the drives, whatever else, but they're tacking on an additional profit margin there to make sure they get paid. Are you starting to understand why I keep saying this is the worst time period in my entire career in the technology world? I've been doing tech since 1996. We've had ups, we've had downs. I genuinely believe this is the worst time period for technology. Anyways, what do you think? Put your thoughts down in the comment section. If you like these episodes, do remember they're on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Link is down below. Also, if you want to follow me on LinkedIn, there's a link down there too. With that, see y'all later.